Okay, I want to welcome everyone again. I'm really excited. We're going to be covering one of my favorite topics. It's how to make at least $100,000 with a Core 7 networking group exclusively for real estate, tax, mortgage, insurance, and financial professionals without disrupting your business. Okay, let's get started. I want to make sure you take notes and shut off your cell phones. My name is Mark Mayoka. I'm the founder of the Core 7 referral system, the creator of multiple products, and I'm going to cover my favorite subject, which is how to create a Core 7 mastermind group that generates at least $100,000 without disrupting your business. Um, and trust me, guys, we know it's tough to create or even find a networking group that's accountable, generates referrals, and adds value to your clients. I mean, we get complaints all the time about some of the well-known networking groups out there. We hear there's not enough accountability. It's too early to go to the meetings. It's tough to refer some of the professionals. The referrals are weak. The teaching is weak. People lie. We hear it all the time. So we're with you, and we think you're really going to like this presentation for those reasons and many more. Okay, so I want to promise you guys something. I'm going to teach you something that took me years to come up with. I've tested it and perfected it. You guys are going to get some great information totally for free. Trust me, again, it's 100% free. And so you guys know, just so I don't sound like I'm the guy that knows it all, I didn't make all of this up, all of this stuff that we're going to talk about in this presentation. I didn't make it up myself. For years, I've been studying the experts like Brian Buffini and Todd Duncan and Barry Habib and a bunch of other industry experts. And what we did was we took some of the best stuff and created a networking group and just kind of organized it so that networking group would do things that other networking groups don't. Does that make sense? So I promise you guys, this will take your business up. We're going to give you some great tools, some great techniques, and just overall great content. So trust me, when we're done with this, you're going to have everything you need to be successful and create a great networking group. So again, the title of this presentation is how to make at least $100,000 with a networking group exclusively for real estate, mortgage, tax, and financial professionals without disrupting your current business. So let me ask you guys something. Do you know what a Core 7 networking group is? Okay, we have a couple. So here's the thing. You guys are going to learn a lot about this as we go on, but just a quick overview. A Core 7 mastermind group is only for realtors, mortgage professionals, real estate closing agents, accountants, financial advisors, P&C insurance professionals, and estate planning attorneys. It's just those 7 professionals. It also has a clear referral methodology and a mastermind group format where everyone's accountable. There's really a systematic, predictable process to generate referrals and add value to your clients. I mean, does that sound good? Wouldn't it be worth an hour of your time to find that out? Guys, I promise it will. You know, I always have to ask the question, how many of you have been in a group or tried to start a group or have a friend who tried to start a group and it was a waste of time? I've been in a bunch of them and I've taken the lumps. So I get it. It's not easy. So I think you came to the right place. Now, before we get into the content and all the great things a Core 7 networking group can do, I want to talk about this from the eyes of the consumer. The reason I'm so passionate about every individual needing a full real estate and financial team collaborating together for their benefit is because of a personal family tragedy that happened to me when I was 16 years old. In 1986, my dad passed away unexpectedly with cancer. He came home and said, he had a tumor and that it was malignant, and 6 weeks later, he was gone. and it was tragic, and we had no insurance. And the crazy thing about it was that my parents sold insurance for a living. They sold property and casualty insurance, and they didn't have their own life insurance in place. It was the classic case of the cobbler's kid having no shoes. And before my dad passed, my family was doing very well. We had, a house in Newton, a house down the Cape. They had a thriving business, and my sister and I had it pretty good. But because of not having a full plan in place, my mother basically had to, sell the houses, sell the business, just to make ends meet. And you know, we had a good life. It wasn't terrible, but obviously that's still a tragedy. And then years later, her son Mark becomes a mortgage originator, and I kind of learn all this stuff about having a team and integrating everything into your full financial plan. So I used to always ask my mother, you know, my mother really liked the mortgage originator who helped them buy their first home. And I said to her, I said, Ma, I think he did a terrible job. And she said, why is that? And she was a really smart lady. And I said, well, you bought two houses, you refinanced a bunch of times, and never once did he ask you how your relationship was with your financial advisor, and if you've checked your insurances to make sure everything's lined up. He had a bunch of opportunities. He didn't even do that. And she said something that was pretty profound to me. She said, you know what? He probably thought we were all set because we sold insurance. And that's the thing. Most people aren't all set. They have their lives that they have to live in and concentrate on themselves. They need a team in place to look at the things they're not looking at. So, long story short, this system was created, not only to generate referrals, but also to benefit the client. So, let me take you back to when I got started in the mortgage business back in 1997. I thought joining a networking group was the best idea. I heard they were exclusive. There was just one professional per group, and only one group was allowed in each territory. And here's the best part. I heard everyone refers. You go in there and it just tons of business, happens. And I thought to myself, you know what a great foundation to my business. I was psyched. I said, all right, here's how I'm going to get going. However, when I joined, I realized it didn't quite work that way. The meetings were at 7 a.m. I'm not a morning person. The accountability was weak. And a lot of the people in the group weren't really related to my business. I mean, really nice people, but I found it really tough to generate referrals for the Mary Kay representative or the personal injury attorney. It just didn't fit into my business model as a mortgage originator. I wanted to create something that was much more financially focused. Well, needless to say, this group really wasn't working for me. In fact, I didn't receive one referral from the realtor or the financial advisor in the whole 6 months that I was a member. Finally, this is what made me leave. I got the nerve up and said, hey guys, what's up? Why am I not receiving any business from you? And here's what I found. They were already working with a mortgage originator outside of the networking group. Yeah, I was completely, it was a waste of 6 months. And I have to admit, I was really upset because I thought that stuff was pre-screened. You know what I mean? I mean, has anyone ever joined one of these networking groups and found the same stuff to be true? It's awful. So that day, I set out to create a referral group that was exclusive to just these 7 professionals: a realtor, mortgage originator, real estate closing agent, meaning a real estate attorney or an escrow agent, depending what state you're in, a financial advisor, an accountant, an estate planning attorney, and a property and casualty insurance agent. And the goal was that we wanted a system that was predictable, systematic, accountable, and added a ton of value to the client. So that's exactly what we did. We created the Core 7 referral system, and Core 7 exclusive mastermind groups. I mean, don't you think that groups in the same field will be much more efficient than being in with a ton of other groups? That it's good to have them as a resource, but you really can't help them, and they're expecting referrals from you. I mean, the goal of our group was to make it easy to, number one, recruit the right professionals, because that's not easy. You know, no one has time to go out and interview a bunch of people, you know, for the group. You know, what usually happens is they end up letting the first professional that says yes into the group. I mean, am I right? That if you start a group, that's probably what you did, and that can be a huge mistake. It's like a bad hire, you know, because one bad seed in your group can be a negative to the whole team. I mean, do not do that, no matter what. You're better off leaving the seat open than letting a bad seat in. Has anyone, you know, started a group like this and let a business partner in and really regretted it? I mean, I have. I've done it multiple times. Okay, so the number two thing we wanted was we wanted a process to execute referrals in a predictable way. I was sick of hearing excuses from everyone in these groups on how there were no referrals. I mean, I wanted to know why there were no referrals, you know, and at a minimum, even if I wasn't getting referrals, I wanted to ensure that everybody was trying their best to give referrals. You know, if the referrals aren't converting and I'm not closing, I at least wanted to know someone was trying. Let me ask you, who would like to have a referral process and have it be more systematic and predictable? Who'd like to have a little bit more certainty that the referral was going to come in a certain way each time? I mean, I did. That was one of the most important things to me. And the third thing we wanted an accountable mastermind meeting format. So the networking format to be really the same way and really accountable. What I mean by that is if I wasn't benefiting from the group, I wanted to know why. And I wanted maximum execution of the referral process. And I wanted that, but I also wanted to know what was happening to take care of the client. You know, one that the client didn't find pushy, right? So I know what you're thinking. Tough to believe, max accountability without being pushy, right? Well, we did it. And we're going to show you how today with the exclusive Core 7 networking groups. So get ready, and we're going to teach you how to create a Core 7 networking group that generates over $100,000, and it's exclusively for real estate, mortgage, tax, insurance, and financial professionals. Are you ready? All right, let me start by telling you that this system really works. I've been doing it for years, and I can tell you that my best Core 7 group has averaged over $100,000 a year for the last 10 years. And here's the thing. There's a lot of more mortgage people out there that do a lot more business than I do. And the only reason that my numbers are higher is because I execute the system. I execute the referral methodology every chance I get, and it works. I mean, who'd like to learn a referral process that will make these networking groups produce similar results to that? I mean, I would. That's what I was looking for when I started. So we're going to show you some really cool ways to shortcut your success. And after this training, you'll be able to set up a really productive networking group really fast, one that generates referrals, one that adds value to your partners, and one that makes a difference in the lives of your clients. Does that make sense? All right. So before we get started, I have a gift for everyone who stays to the end of this webinar. We're going to give you a special gift. At the end of this presentation, we'll get you a link for a great freebie. Does that sound good? It's the Core 7 Quick Start Toolkit. You know, it's going to include a networking group checklist so you can run the group step by step. It's going to have all the materials needed, the lead tracker worksheet, the mastermind agenda, which is like a workbook, the quarterly referral scorecard so you can track closings every quarter. It's going to have the top 29 scripts for each professional in the group. So stick around to the end, and we'll show you how you can get the Core 7 Quick Start Toolkit. Okay, guys, a little earnings disclaimer, and this is my attorney speaking. By watching this, you're not going to earn $100,000 right away. It's going to take some work. You're going to have to learn the systems and get it going, but I think you'll love the immediate benefits that you do get. So I just want to let you know that. Now, as I mentioned earlier, this is important. When we got started with this, all we wanted was to have a foundation that added to our business, and it's grown into a whole system. So as I've said earlier, believe me, I took my lumps. I mean, we had people join just to try it out with no intention of helping anyone. I was in a group where a financial advisor was so all about himself that, he took all the time talking about what we could give him, right? I eventually referred this guy to my mother, and he ended up putting her in in a bad plan, and that wasn't good at all. I mean, does anybody have a story like that? I mean, that's a pretty bad one. We also had a real estate agent, and she'd always tell me how to do my job, and also threaten me every single time I'd give her a referral. She'd basically tell me that if I didn't do a good job, that she can't give me, business ever again. I mean, mortgage guys and gals, does anyone feel like that with your real estate agents, that you're always, on the chopping block? It's the worst. So believe me, I have the arrows in my back with everything that has to do with these mastermind groups. I mean, I've done all the work for you. Each time I got kicked, we adjusted. We created rules and guidelines. We created a referral methodology. We created a way to recruit so that you could find the right people and weed out the jackasses right from the start so they wouldn't pollute your team. We also figured out a way to address all the issues politely, even if it was a big problem. So this took a long time and it wasn't easy, but in the end, I've closed a ton of business from this group, and so has the rest of the group. In one 18-month period, I was able to give one financial advisor 70 referrals, right? The realtor in that group was able to generate 15 closed transactions in 1 year from this one financial advisor. Those are pretty good numbers, right? I mean, who would like to get those kind of numbers, just those right there from a networking group? I mean, I think anybody would. I think it would be worth it. This networking group has been the foundation of my business. If I was dropped in another part of the country and knew no one, the first thing I do is try to find a Core 7 networking group, get the exclusive territory, and get started. But I'm getting ahead of myself. I wanna give you guys the information so you can decide for yourself. Here's the deal. We all know that networking groups are great, but they usually fail because of the structure, execution, and the commitment of the people. They're typically unorganized and the people aren't committed. But I'm going to tell you, when you do them right, a networking group can blow up your business. For example, we mentioned the realtor in our group. His name's Chuck Silverston. He got 15 closed referrals in 1 year from one financial advisor. I mean, guys, realtors, can you imagine generating $100,000 in 1 year just from one partner? And it's also a partner you can trust that's 100% loyal. One of our members said, Core 7's like having a base salary that you can count on. And he's right. In my opinion, a solid networking group is the closest thing you can have to a base salary in a commission job. I mean, just imagine having that kind of balance by having a true partnership. I mean, doesn't that sound awesome? Okay, here's another success story. The closing attorney in one of our groups referred the property and casualty insurance agent 25 referrals that closed in only 3 months. Most of the feedback I've received is that closing attorneys don't refer anyone. It's not like that in a Core 7 group. This attorney's referrals amounted to over $6,000 in commissions for this property and casualty insurance agent. And that's just from one partner in the networking group in only 3 months. So let me ask you guys, realtors, how many of you have received any referrals from a financial advisor, accountant, or a property and casualty insurance agent? I mean, anyone? What about the property and casualty insurance agents? I mean, how many are you getting from closing attorneys? Are you getting a lot, from them? How's that relationship? And financial advisor, I hear them all the time. How many are you getting from mortgage originators? You see where I'm going with this? I mean, just imagine if you had a team of professionals that you could count on, not just for great service, but for 6 figures or more per year, $100,000 plus from one networking group. It's all possible, it's all proven, and it can be done. I mean, how many of you are in a networking group that produces results like that? Feel free to put in the comments some of the successes you had. I'd love to learn about it. So here's the thing. If you want to take your business to another level by creating a networking group that generates $100,000 or even $200,000 a year without disrupting your current business, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. It's with a Core 7 exclusive mastermind group. And here's one other thing. If you're just starting out, this can work for you too. I'm going to show you how a Core 7 mastermind group can become the cornerstone of your business. It can be a great foundation to get started, and it can be done really quickly. Does that sound good? Guys, having a networking group that you're consistently introducing clients to is the best way to keep your clients in your network. Think about it. Let's say someone buys a home, and in 2 years they decide to have a child and want insurance. Well, now they need a financial advisor, right? Well, the advisor they end up working with may have their whole real estate team in place already, and they may introduce them to them. So you may get pushed out of the next deal, even if you did a great job. So that it's one of the best things you can do for client retention is getting your group involved as soon as you can. Guys, get your team working with your clients right from the start. Think about it. Has anyone ever lost a deal or lost a client because you didn't know the business partner that referred them to their friend? You lost them because someone else referred them to a different one. That's happened to me a bunch of times. It won't happen in a Core 7 networking group because there's a systematic process where you introduce each member of the team at the right time in the process. So let's dive into this. I know that was a long introduction, but I really just wanted you guys to see the benefits and where we could go with this. So let's dive into this. So during this presentation, I'm going to cover 3 secrets. So if you have a pad and paper, now's the time to start writing stuff down. Okay, secret number 1. I'm going to show you how to get the right people on the bus for your networking group right from the start. I mean, how many of you guys want to learn that secret right there? Again, I've mentioned it. How many people have been in a networking group with someone that you thought would be great, and then they ended up being a bust? They ended up just being in your group, never adding value, and you wish you never brought them in. It's happened to a lot of people. All right, and after you learn how to find the right professionals who are going to be psyched to join your team and team up with you, we're going to show you secret number 2. How to refer your partners without any client pushback. Guys, how many of you guys have been afraid to refer because you're worried it's going to jeopardize the relationship? We've all thought of that. Think about it. What effect will generating more referrals for your partners have on your business? That's why you have to. You have to learn how to do that in a really easy way without offending your client. And we're going to show you how to do that. Okay, secret number 3, how to be sure that your partners are accountable. We're going to teach you how to do that in a really simple, easy way. I mean, people always say to me, Mark, I have my team and I get the process, but how can I make sure my partners are accountable? I'm going to show you how to have everyone so accountable that it will be impossible for them to hide if they're not referring you. How many of you would like to be 100% positive you're going to get referrals from all your partners in your networking group? Well, Core 7 ensures that. All right, now let's dig into these 3 secrets. Does that sound good? All right. Secret number 1, how to get the right partners on the bus for your networking group. I get it. I know everyone's probably tried it before. You tried to start a referral group. You had some interested people. You had to describe how the group would work. You had to sell them on how great it would be. You know, maybe they liked it at first, and then you needed to educate them on the process. Then after a few meetings, you realize you wasted your time. They never were a good fit. So you think of all the time you've wasted and time you could have spent, you know, in your business, and you say, you know what? People just don't get it. Networking groups don't work. Well, I do get that. No one has time for that. I agree with you. It's a terrible use of time, and it's really discouraging because one bad seed can hurt the whole group. We had a group once where this estate planning attorney, you know, at first told us everything we wanted to hear. But then when the group started, you know, weeks would go by, he wasn't generating any referrals. He wasn't generating any to the financial advisor. I was generating more to the advisor than he was. And here's the thing, a mortgage originator shouldn't have that much more referrals to a financial advisor than an estate planning attorney. I mean, those two work together so closely, it should be 10 to 1. And here's the thing, when we confronted this estate planning attorney, you know, in a really nice way, he basically admitted he didn't want to follow the methodology. He said he knew how to do things, and he had his own process. Well, if he knew how to do things, then why wasn't he generating any referrals? Again, this created a big problem for the whole group, and you can't do it this way. There needs to be a process, there needs to be a system, and there needs to be a way to find the right people who are going to follow it. So right after this incident, we went to work right away to fix the problem. Now the Core 7 system gives you the ability to find the right people for the group right away. So think about it. Imagine knowing the person in the group is on the exact page as you when it comes to referrals. And here's a little disclaimer on how to build your group right. Start with your current partners. That's the best way to build your group. Let me give you an example. My best realtor went from about 12 million in closings a year to 16 million in the very first year we started our group. And it was just because we got more efficient and systematized because we were following the process and using the tools more often. Guys, would it make an impact, loan officers especially, would it make an impact on your business if your best realtor partner added another 4 million in closed loans? The impact can be huge. So here's how to find the right people immediately, right from the start. Here's what we do. First thing is there's a copy and paste recruiting email in the mastermind group masterclass. Every Sunday, you get this reminder, and it's an email that you can copy and paste and blast out to your social media networks, your email list, and anywhere you can get warm introductions to the partner you're looking for. This one email is how I met half of my Core 7 group partners. Here's how I think about it. My friends are only going to recommend me to people they like and people that do a good job, but also that they think I'll like. No one wants to be the friend who sets you up with the jerk that never delivers. I mean, do you agree with that? I mean, I wouldn't want to be that person. All right, next step. So let's say you received a few introductions from these emails, and let's say they're interested. Now what do? You need to make sure they're a good fit. So we created the recruiting webinar. This is a 12-minute webinar with me and co-founder Mark Stiles. This webinar lets potential group members know exactly how serious the group is, exactly how it will be run, and it also contains a written version of how the group works, as well as an application to join the group. So the next step after you get these introductions is just to send them this link that takes them right to the webinar. All right, this link contains everything they need to know. Now, here's what's awesome about this is you can send the email and get right back to your business and not waste a lot of time explaining everything about the group. It's all in the recruiting package. Do you see how easy that is? It's the best way to screen people who aren't going to be the right fit. I mean, think about it. If they can't fill out the application and watch the webinar, how serious are they going to be about the mastermind group? You only want committed people. Does that make sense? The recruiting package ensures that commitment. Okay. Step number 3 of the recruiting package. So they've watched the webinar, they've filled out the application, they want to join your group. Well, you still have to make sure they're the right person, right? Maybe you have a better candidate. Maybe there's a conflict with one of the referral partners. It could be a bunch of things. So that's why we have the 3rd step, which we call the Director of Selection questionnaire. This will clarify if the person's the right fit. Now, we recommend that the Director of Selection asking the questions not be connected to the recruit. This way, if they aren't chosen, it doesn't ruin the relationship with the member who brought them in. You know, you can just blame it on the director of selection, right? Does that make sense? You know, this way the person can keep the relationship with that person. All right, so the Director of Selection questionnaire really steps up the accountability. And here's the best part. It's not a drawn out process. It doesn't take much time at all. You basically just get the person on the phone. You ask them some real clarifying questions to make sure they understand everything that they watched in the webinar and let them know basically how serious the group is and how it has to work. This will make sure that things go right. But there's one other way that you make sure you get people on the team. It's to direct them to the monthly sales call. We do a monthly sales call, and this call will answer any questions they may have, as well as motivate them to see the benefits of the group. These calls give new recruits the opportunity to ask any questions, and it will really make everything crystal clear. You know, if anyone is hesitant, you can just suggest they hop on the next call and ask all the questions they want. This, again, the goal of this is to be able to not take up your whole day trying to find the right people. We wanted to make it real easy. From start to finish, all the time that's needed, honestly, is about 10 minutes. You know, it's about the same time as it takes, you know, to have a coffee break. That's how easy it is. You know, and you'll never need to worry about wasting your time because this is all done for you. It's all here. You know, once you learn the process and everything, you'll be able to send that. So think about it. If someone's interested, you email them the link to the webinar. If they fill out the application and you think they're a good fit, you ask the Director of Selection questions. And if they pass, they join the group. It's that easy. All right. Now let's segue to secret number 2, which is how to easily refer your partners without any pushback from your clients. Guys, your clients are going to give you permission to give them referrals every time. Imagine how confident you'll be approaching your business partners knowing that you're going to be able to deliver consistent referrals. Now, I get it. I understand. Many times it's not comfortable to refer your partners to your clients. You know, it feels pushy, and I get it. No one wants to feel pushy. You know, you're worried the client is going to be offended and tell you to stay in your lane. Even when you know it's going to help them. I get it. It's still uncomfortable. I felt like this a ton, but here's the deal. The Core 7 system pretty much eliminates all of that. I'm telling you, your clients will give you permission to refer whenever you see the need, and it makes referring so much easier. I mean, tell me, guys, if you knew that your clients are going to say yes every time you gave them a referral, do you think you'd refer more? Of course you would. I mean, if you know that you're going to give referrals, you do it a lot more. All right, here's how it's done. And this was designed by a financial advisor named Matt Clifford in one of our Core 7 groups. When he sits down with a client, he starts by endorsing the referral source. That's step one. Then he asks permission to explain the way he works. And what he does, he pulls out a picture of the Core 7 pinwheel, which has the 7 professionals. And he says this script. It says, Mr. Smith, we use Mr. Smith. It doesn't have to be Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith, I've surrounded myself with 6 other professionals to make sure we cover your entire financial plan. So during this process, I may make introductions to some of these professionals. There's no obligation to work with them, but I'd like to make the suggestion anyway if I think it adds value. Would that be okay? Guys, the client says okay 100% of the time. So you say that, you get the client's permission. Now you can relax and make referrals whenever you see fit because they've given you permission. Now, is that something that would be difficult for you to do? Guys, it's an easy conversation. Here's my favorite story about this process. I once received this referral from one of my realtor partners. And when I was reviewing the client's pre-consultation worksheets, which I always get up front, here's what it told me. Number one, he didn't have a financial advisor. So I thought, oh, great, I can make an introduction. However, it also said they were looking to buy a $1.5 million home and would feel comfortable putting a down payment between $500,000 and $800,000. They had perfect credit. They had no monthly debt. They had plenty of income and plenty of retirement savings. These guys were pretty well off. And I have to admit, before the consultation, I was kind of hesitant to refer. I'm supposed to refer the financial advisor, and I thought they were going to say, why do I need a financial advisor? We're fine. That's what was going on in my head. Honestly, I was actually considering not to follow my own process, but then it hit me. I'm just going to follow the process and see what happens. I owe it to my partners, and I owe it to the client to at least ask. Does that make sense? So here's how it went. And again, I just followed the process. Mr. Smith, thank you for the opportunity to work with you. I really appreciate it. I want to congratulate you on working with Chuck Silverston as your realtor. He does a great job for all of his clients. Can I have your permission to tell you about my process? I then pulled up the Core 7 pinwheel on Zoom, because I do my consultations by Zoom, and said, my goal is to make sure this mortgage is integrated into your overall financial plan so you're fully protected. I may make some referrals to some of these partners along the way. There's no obligation for you to work with them, but I'd like to make the suggestion if I think it's important so I can make sure I'm a good resource for you. Would that be okay? They said, sure. So now I got to relax because I knew I had the permission. Now here's what happened. When we got to that down payment section, I just repeated what the client put in the pre-consultation worksheet. I said, Mr. Smith, it says here you're comfortable putting between $500,000 and $800,000 down. Which would you prefer? They gave me the same answer that they put on the questionnaire, that they feel comfortable doing either 500 or to 800, whatever works out for them and gets them the best terms. So the first thing I did was give my opinion. But then I said, Mr. Smith, I know enough to be dangerous. And that's really a financial advisor question. How's your relationship with your financial advisor who specializes in cash flow? And as you know, and as I knew, they didn't have a financial advisor. So I made the referral to the advisor on my team. It was that easy. Isn't that a great story? I mean, I was reluctant at first, and it was one of the easiest referrals to give. And my financial advisor was psyched. He said it was the best referral he received all month. And here's the thing, you know why they took the referral? During the loan process, I developed a really good relationship with the borrower. And I asked him straight out, why'd you take the referral from me? I would have thought you already had a financial advisor and or just want to manage your money on your own. And he said that he and his wife had come from humble beginnings, and their family and friends came from humble beginnings also. But he and his wife were very fortunate to have done really well financially, so they were looking for a financial advisor, but they didn't have anyone that they trusted enough to ask for an introduction. And these people loved their family and friends. I mean, they would have they trust them, watching their kids, but financially they were a little bit uncomfortable. And you see, you never know when the opportunity is going to happen or why people need help. And that's why you need to ask. I mean, guys, we really owe it to the customer to ask. I mean, does that make sense? I mean, just imagine what your business would look like if you were able to consistently generate outgoing referrals to your partners. You wouldn't need to be concerned about them using another professional or sending their referrals elsewhere or dropping you if you just made, a human mistake. Think about it. It would even be easy to approach a business partner if you knew you were able to generate business for them. I mean, you'd be pretty confident that they'd be interested in partnering. I mean, don't you think? I mean, of course they would, because they're guaranteed to benefit, to receive some benefit, but by working with you. Most of these professionals, they're not getting anything back. So they look at it, they get that food chain mentality. I can tell you as a loan officer, when I speak with financial advisors, I know I have a unique selling proposition to offer them because I know that 99% of the advisors I speak with, and I speak with a lot, have never received a referral from their loan officer, not one. I mean, I think that's crazy. As I said earlier, in an 18-month period, I gave 70 to one financial advisor. And it's just because I asked. So again, let me ask you, if you had a system where you were able to generate consistent referrals for your partners, do you think your business would be better? Of course it would. Let's move on to secret number 3. Core 7 ensures partner accountability and guarantees you receive value at every networking group meeting. So many people who've tried to start referral groups are convinced they're just a waste of time. I mean, I've heard that they're just a coffee break, a venting session. I've heard that no one is loyal, and it's just a pain in the butt to create a meeting agenda. It's just not worth it. I mean, have you guys heard that too? I mean, I've heard it a lot. I get it. But this is the reason why some people are hesitant to start referral groups. We understand that wouldn't be worth it. At Core 7, we make sure that doesn't happen to you. We make it so you can depend on referrals and that accountability of your partners. Now, let me ask you, if that's a fact, it would be 100% worth it, right? Well, here's how we make that happen. A Core 7 networking group has specific points in the process where the referral opportunity happens every time if you execute it properly. Now, do you guys want to hear about that? I'm going to walk you through it. I'm going to highlight some points in the Core 7 exclusive mastermind meeting format that makes this all possible. This is the format that we follow at every networking group meeting. All right, let's go. Number 1, there's a section called What's New and Positive and Who Do I Need to Meet? Now, I'd like to focus on the second half of this section, the Who Do I Need to Meet section. In this section, Core 7 teaches each professional to ask their partners for individuals and professionals that they want to meet, even if it's a competitor. Hard to believe, I know. Well, at Core 7, we believe in the abundance mentality. We believe there's truly enough business to go around, and if you help your partners become successful, they'll look for ways to help you. It's the law of reciprocity. It's like the famous quote from Zig Ziglar that you can have everything you want in life if you help enough people get what they want. I mean, I think that's the only way to truly scale your business. And I have so many success stories about this, but the one that really stands out is one where this group's estate planning attorney really wasn't giving referrals. He wasn't following the system. He wasn't executing the process. And at the time, he's basically just taking up one of the seats. It wasn't his fault. He wasn't comfortable. But at one meeting, we were in this section. We were on the what's new and possible, who do I need to meet section. And the realtor in our group asked if anyone knew a builder or a developer that they could introduce him to. Now, this estate planning attorney who hadn't generated a solid referral in weeks, he wanted to help, he just hadn't been able to do it, had a good friend who was a developer. So he made the introduction. Well, fast forward a few months, this developer ended up working with the realtor for a condo development he was building. And needless to say, the entire group closed about 6 or 7 pieces of business each just from that one transaction. I mean, isn't that an awesome story? Like sometimes just an introduction can impact everyone in the group. Do you see how easy it is to add value? I mean, imagine if your partners were making introductions at every single meeting. Just that one section could blow up your entire business. You know, I've asked, as a loan officer, I've asked for introductions to other realtors, the financial advisors asked to meet other accountants. You have to remember, if it's all about thinking abundantly, you know, there's plenty of business to go around. There's plenty for everyone. Okay. The next part of the meeting that ensures success is the tracking section. Now, the tracking session is all based on this referral methodology we keep talking about. Like there's a way that it's done each and every time for every single professional. So really, you know, no one can hide from being accountable to referrals. The system breaks down if you're following the process and generating referrals or not. As I said earlier, I was in a very well-known networking group, and the financial advisor and the realtor would lie to me every time the group met. You know, I'd come to these meetings all excited to do a great job for their clients, but each meeting I get the same old excuses. You know, sorry, I don't have anyone for you. You know, I gave out your card. Did you hear from any of them? And I mean, I knew they were lying. So what I did was I eventually asked them, hey, could you refer me by email? And that's because I wanted to see that they were at least trying. Well, obviously at that point they had to tell the truth, that they were referring the other mortgage originator who wasn't even in the group. It was obvious too. I mean, it always is. That's exactly what's going on in a lot of networking groups all over the country. You know, that's why it does make sense why people are hesitant to start a group. But with the Core 7 process, it's different. Every referral opportunity leads to what we call the referral generator. So let me tell you what the referral generator is. You guys ready? It's a script that makes it so easy to give referrals, and here it is. How is your relationship with your blank who specializes in blank? Let me repeat that. How is your relationship with your blank that specializes in blank? Let me walk you through a few examples of how this works for a couple of Core 7 professionals, okay? Let's start with the financial advisor referring a realtor. Let's say a client was expecting a baby. You know, financial advisors are the first professionals who know when a couple is expecting. So in this situation, you know, many times the chances are the client will need more space because they have a growing family. So here's how that conversation would go. Well, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, congratulations about your future addition to your family. What are your housing plans? Will you need more space? How's your relationship with your realtor who specializes in working with move-up buyers? Now, obviously, you know, it would be a little more conversational than that, but think about it. These conversations happen all the time, right? Imagine how many referrals you could generate if the advisor was asking these questions every time. Here's another example. Let's say a client who has just sent their child off to college is now an empty nester. most likely they won't need all that extra space and they'll be looking to downsize. Perfect timing for the referral generator. Mr. Smith, how is your relationship with your realtor who specializes in downsizing? Or typically that is a sell buy, you know? How's your relationship with your realtor who specializes in buying and selling properties at the same time? I mean, that's easy, right? That would generate some great referrals. I mean, realtors, I got to ask you, how many referrals do you think you get if your financial advisor partner was doing this with all their clients? This simple script, how is your relationship with your realtor who specializes in whatever the need is, set at the right time, can generate referrals for all of the Core 7 professionals. Executed properly, it can benefit everyone in your networking group. For example, mortgage professionals and closing attorneys. Imagine how many closings you could generate if the financial advisor was referring your realtor partner like this. As I said, our top realtor received 15 referrals in 1 year that closed from just one financial advisor. Do you guys see how that could benefit everyone? All right, let's review a couple more examples. Let's keep it real simple. Let's talk about the mortgage professional referring the financial advisor. There are a ton of great opportunities for the mortgage professional to refer the financial advisor. How about right at pre-approval? Here's what a Core 7 mortgage originator says at every pre-approval consultation. Mr. Smith, all mortgage originators use debt to income ratios to figure out how much you qualify for. That only includes the housing payment and what we can see on your credit report. It doesn't take into account any lifestyle expenses like travel or your other future goals. How is your relationship with your financial advisor who specializes in cash flow? Do you guys see how easy that is? All right, here's another one for the mortgage originator. At each closing, Core 7 mortgage originator will say this. Mr. Smith, congratulations on your closing. The purchase of a home can trigger so many financial ramifications. How's your relationship with your financial advisor? Look at how simple that is. Isn't that easy? Financial advisors, can you imagine if your loan officer partner was doing that with every client they pre-approved and every client they closed a loan for? I mean, think about it. Most financial advisors are buying lists of loans that close to cold call and sell mortgage protection insurance. Wouldn't you rather have a nice warm referral from one of your partners? A warm referral will give you a much better opportunity to work with that client. And guys, there's so much more. There's so many more opportunities. In fact, one of the modules that we have in the Core 7 system is called Financial Advisor Referrals from the first 2 pages of the tax return. This module shows all the referral opportunities for the financial advisor that exist on the first page of the tax return. There's so many opportunities, So let me ask you, financial advisors, how many referrals are you receiving from your mortgage originator? Most that I've spoke with, have given up on referrals from the mortgage originator. This is a huge void, and it's so easy. Again, I keep repeating it, but in one 18-month period, I gave 70 referrals to my financial advisor partner. Just think of the impact that would have on your financial planning practice. Guys, do the math. Take the 15 closings and multiply that by your average commission. And how much would that add to your bottom line by starting a Core 7 group? And ask yourself, would it be worth it? Guys, it's really that easy. As I said, the P&C agent in one of our groups received 25 referrals in 3 months from a closing attorney. The accountability systems for all the Core 7 professionals are easy, predictable, they're accountable, and they can happen every time. If all the partners are executing the system and making referrals correctly, the sky's the limit. Imagine what it would be like to know you're going into this meeting and getting referrals every single time. Imagine the confidence that you'll have that you can count on these. You know, wouldn't you be more motivated? I think so. So let me ask you guys a question. We've been talking for about an hour, and I know it's really, tough to cover everything in one webinar. I tried and I was redundant and I tried to really be clear, but it's hard. But if I had a way for you to continue to learn more about creating a Core 7 networking group that generates incoming and outgoing referrals without disrupting your business, would you want to hear more about it? I mean, let me know. Would you like to hear more about that? Okay, great. Because here's why. We've created a great platform called Exclusive Core 7 Mastermind Groups as part of the Core 7 referral system that covers all of this, but in much more detail. So can I have your permission to show you the program and how it works? Awesome, awesome. Okay, and here's what you get. You get the Core 7 Masterclass, which contains all the training videos to execute the system, how to run your mastermind groups, your one-on-one partnerships, all the scripting, your quarterly referral scorecard, everything you can do to generate referrals, add value to your partners, and make a difference in the lives of your clients. Total yearly value, $3,000. Okay, you also get the Core 7 recruiting package. This contains the copy and paste emails to get the right partners on your team, so you can just copy and paste them and send them out. The recruiting webinar that explains everything about the group and answers any questions that any potential member will have, so you don't have to waste any time and you can stay focused on what you're doing. It also has the Director of Selection questionnaire, which is the final screening, the last line of defense, and ensures that you'll never bring on the wrong people. Total yearly value, $1,000. So let's go over it. You get the master class, total yearly value, $3,000. You get the recruiting package, total value, $1,000. All totaled, $4,000. But there's more. You also get the Core 7 Resource Center, which has the questionnaires for each professional, all the mastermind materials, including your monthly agendas, your quarterly referral scorecard, your one-on-one partnership planning sessions, your lead trackers, all your scripts, and so much more. Total yearly value, $1,000. Okay, so you get the Core 7 Masterclass, $3,000 value. You get the Core 7 Recruiting Package, $1,000 value, and the Core 7 Resource Center for a yearly $1,000 value. Total overall value, $5,000. But there's more. You also get access to our private Facebook group. Now, the thing that makes this Facebook group unique is we only allow Core 7 professionals in there. So all there is realtors, mortgage originators, closing agents, financial advisors, accountants, P&C agents, and estate planning attorneys. And this group is put together so you can connect with people and help you build your team. This private Facebook group has a total yearly value of $500. So you get the Core 7 Masterclass, $3,000, the recruiting package, $1,000, the resource center, $1,000, and the private Facebook group, $500, for a total yearly value of $5,500. But guess what? There's more. You get the accountability reminders and the sales and leader calls. This will keep you right on pace with the system, reminding you to send your recruiting emails, when your mastermind group meetings are, to schedule your one-on-ones, to reach out to consumers, to make sure you are executing the system. Now, the sales and leader calls happen every single month. They're to add value, help you recruit members, and so much more. Total yearly value, $2,000. So let's go over this. You get the Core 7 Masterclass for $3,000. You get the recruiting package for $1,000. You get the resource center for $1,000. You get our private Facebook group for $500, and you get the accountability reminders and the sales and leader calls. Total yearly value, $2,000. All totaled $7,500. But guess what? Yep, that's right. There's more. And here's what makes us really unique. You get the exclusive territory. So you get an exclusive Core 7 territory. Now let me tell you how it works and how we add value. When someone starts a group, we block the territory. Territories are divided up by population of 100,000 people. So once that territory is established, no other group can start in that territory without your permission. It belongs to the group owner. Now, here's the reason that owning a territory is such a huge advantage. It's because of the Find a Group tab on the mycore7.com website. Guys, we do a ton of marketing to drive traffic to our website. So any professionals who inquire about Core 7 groups in the area are introduced to the group owner directly. For example, if an accountant goes to find a group and they're interested in a certain territory, that introduction would go directly to the group leader in our territory. So basically, we're helping Core 7 build their groups. Guys, is that valuable? Just imagine how valuable that could be. Once you start a group, you'll be the only one in the territory with access to our unique service. You'll be meeting professionals who are on the exact same page as you, professionals looking to build their team and work together. Does that sound like something you'd be interested in? So here we go. There's a total yearly value of $5,000. So here's what you get. You get the Core 7 Masterclass, $3,000 value. You get the recruiting package, $1,000 value. You get the Core 7 Resource Center, $1,000 value. You get the Facebook group, $500 value. You get the accountability reminders and the sales and leader calls, $2,000 value. And you get the exclusive mastermind group territory, total yearly value, $5,000. So when we total all of this up, your total yearly value is $12,500. That's just a little more than $1,000 a month. Now, guys, obviously, I'm not going to charge you $12,500 a year, even though I do think it's worth it. I'm definitely not going to charge you that amount. But let me ask you, if all this program did was show you how to consistently generate outgoing referrals for your business partners, would it be worth just over $1,000 a month? Would it? Of course it would. I mean, some Core 7 professionals only need a couple referrals to cover the entire amount. Let me repeat some of the closing numbers from our Core 7 groups. As a mortgage originator, I've averaged over $100,000 a year for the last 10 years. I generated 70 referrals in an 18-month period. The realtor in my group generated 15 closings in 1 year from one financial advisor. And we also have a new group that has generated a total income of $133,000 in only 4 months with only 5 members. Okay, let's recap everything you get when you join the Core 7 networking group. You get the Core 7 Masterclass with video training on how to execute the Core 7 referral system and how to run your monthly mastermind meetings, your quarterly referral scorecard, and your one-on-one partnership planning sessions. You get all the scripts, the copy and paste emails, all for a total yearly value of $3,000. We also give you the recruiting package that contains the recruiting emails, the Core 7 webinar, and the Director of Selection questionnaire. Total yearly value, $1,000. You also get the full resource center It has all the questionnaires, the relationship builder, and much more. Total yearly value, $1,000. You get access to a private Facebook group only for Core 7 professionals. Total yearly value, $500. You also get the accountability reminders and the monthly sales and leader calls with the Core 7 leadership. Total yearly value, $2,000. And last but not least, you get an exclusive territory where only you will have the support of the Core 7 leadership to help build your teams. There's only one group per territory, and it's first come, first serve. The benefit you get is an introduction to every professional who inquires about a group in that territory. Guys, every single one will go to the group owner of that territory. Total yearly value, $5,000. All for a total yearly value of $12,500. But here's the deal. I'm going to give you the entire Core 7 referral system and let you start your Core 7 group for only $600 a year. Yes, that's $600 a year, and you get everything. Guys, that's a no-brainer. That breaks down to $50 a month. Guys, for $50 a month, it's almost impossible for it not to be worth it. The master class alone is worth $50 a month. Guys, if you execute this properly, you will 10 times that amount. But here's the thing. You only have two options. First option is you can do nothing and let someone else grab the territory and reap the rewards. Or you can take a leap of faith and give this system a try. It's only a 1-year commitment of $600. Guys, think about it this way. A $600 a year membership can typically be covered by just one referral, which is nothing compared to what this program can produce. This program is going to have a positive effect on your clients and your referral partnerships. All you have to do is click the Start a Group link below, fill out the information with the territory you want, and if that territory is available, we'll send you the link to the group. Guys, this system works. We told you of the success of our existing members, and I'm so confident that you guys can have the same success or better if you start a group today. Again, just click Start a Group and lead a territory. This is a no-brainer, guys. But you know what? I'm going to make a special offer to go along with this. I'm going to make this even better. I'm going to offer a free bonus for the first 50 people who start a group. This call is for leaders only. Here's what the first 50 will receive when they purchase the Core 7 exclusive mastermind groups. I'm going to give you our corporate lunch and learn product for free. This product usually goes for $297, and you get it for free when you start a group today. This product has everything you need to run your own continuing education seminars and lunch and learn presentations at companies, on a Zoom meeting, at the local continuing education center, and so much more. Here's what you get in this course. You get the letters and emails to send to decision makers to get approved to do these workshops. You get the materials, the workbooks, the video training where I walk you through exactly how I give this full lunch and learn presentation. We also give you the spreadsheets that populate to give to your clients. There's a cash flow analysis, a profit and loss statement, an investment property analysis, a home budget, and so much more. Guys, trust me, your clients will love you if you purchase this product today. So you can start your own networking group and have the Lunch and Learn program for free. This Lunch and Learn program is geared towards a group presentation. So it goes hand in hand with your networking groups. So you can go into these companies as a group, which is a much stronger value proposition. So these groups are going to go fast. So listen carefully. If you want to be the owner, go to Start a Group And if it's not taken, a link will be sent to you by the Core 7 approving you for the territory. This link is only good for 24 hours. After that, they're going to go to the next responder. So it's first come, first serve. Now, if you have people who want to join the group after you've established it as a leader, they just have to go to the join an existing group link and fill that out, and the link to join will be sent out immediately. So get the group started and build your team. And as you know, Core 7 is going to be trying to find professionals to help fill your group also. Once you start a group, we go to work. Okay, I'm really excited for you. And now we're going to answer some questions. Okay, we're going to have a little bit of Q&A. So here's the first one that we received. Question number 1, how often does a Core 7 group meet? That's easy. Core 7 meets once a month for the mastermind meeting, but there are also 2 scheduled one-on-one partnership planning sessions where the partnership planning questionnaire is used. These planning sessions typically take about 15 to 20 minutes. And these calls are great. They're guaranteed to create stronger relationships. Here's the thing, guys. The total meeting time is about 3 hours a month. I like to compare it to the cost for a mortgage originator to pay for like Zillow leads. You know, if you're going to buy Zillow leads and be in the top tier, which is where the quality leads come from, it's about $2,000 a month, which is $24,000 a year. Core 7 is $600 a year. And you don't have to make 7 to 10 cold calls a day. And if you think about it, you'll have a quality meeting with 6 business partners plus 2 focused one-on-one partnership planning sessions. I mean, I look at it and I don't even see a comparison to anything else you'd be spending your money on. But that's just me. Okay, here's another great question. Actually, a great one to piggyback on the last one. Can you tell me some of the questions on the one-on-one partnership planning questionnaire? Great question. Here's how you can really see the value of this stuff. So let me start by saying that if all you did was the partnership planning session, using the questionnaire, your business would explode. I really feel strongly about that. Just the deeper connection that you'll have with your partners is going to make a huge impact on your business. And it's funny, when members question the cost of $600 a year, I laugh. And yes, people do question it. I laugh because just this one action of having the one-on-one partnership planning sessions that are scheduled will produce 10 times the cost of the membership. Trust me, the results are amazing. So here's an example. Here are the questions, and you can decide for yourself, because it forces you to have a plan and help each other. You know, people do want to help each other, in my opinion. So let's read the questions, and you can tell me what you think. Question number 1, what do you think you would need to double your referral business? I mean, obviously that, you know, you're able to teach people exactly how you want to refer. Question 2, what could we do to produce higher quality referrals? You know, these are ways that you can teach people exactly how you want to be introduced, the scripting, you know, the timing. I mean, it's some great stuff. What is your goal this week, this month, or this year? Good conversation, good thing to know about your partners. Who would you like to be connected with? Again, you know, as a mortgage originator, I always say, you know what, I'm always looking to meet good real estate agents. You know, if you could help me meet a few, that would be great. What are your current challenges or struggles? And, you know, what can I specifically help you with? I mean, those 6 questions right there, that's it. If you ask those with 2 partners a month and they really try to help you, I mean, it's inevitable your business is going to go up. Now, let me ask you, do you think going this deep and asking these kind of questions will develop a better partnership? Quality business will definitely be done between partners who communicate this way. I mean, that's what I think. And as I said earlier, the partnership planning sessions alone almost guarantee the whole Core 7 referral system. and there's so much more. All right, let's move on to question number 3. How do you eject people from the group for not producing? Wow, this is a very good question. Honestly, we try to make it so it doesn't happen like this. We designed the recruiting package that we discussed earlier to make sure all the right people get in your group right from the start. I mean, here's the deal. If you send out the offers to join the group, people are going to be interested. But then if you send the recruiting webinar, which talks about the group, and the questionnaire, people are going to understand exactly what's required. Then by using the director of selection questionnaire, it makes it almost impossible to add a professional that's not going to add value. Again, guys, I can't stress this enough. You just need to follow the process outlined in the Core 7 recruiting package. Does that make sense? Now, this is a great question because in the rare case that you do let someone in the group who shouldn't be, the accountability is so high because of the methodology and the mastermind format that I guarantee you these partners will eventually quit if they're not adding value. We once had a group where there was a real estate agent who wasn't producing at all, but she was such a sweetheart, you know, and I mean, I wasn't going to ask her to leave, you know, I liked her too much, you know, but because of all the accountability, instead of us having to throw her out of the group, which would have, of course, upset anybody, she was able to leave on her own and keep her dignity. And we're all still friends to this day. I mean, no one wants to be thrown out of a group. And there's a lot of groups out there of a committee that ejects people and alienates them all the time. Core 7 has built-in questions in every meeting that bring everything to the surface. It's all going to come out. Does this make sense? Okay, next question. What is the best way to hand off a referral? Call, text, or email? Email without a doubt. I mean, I feel strongly about this. I mean, don't you hate it when someone says, I gave out your card, did they call you? They may not have done it. They may have lost your card. I mean, you really don't know. But by doing it by email, it also takes the follow-up away because the professional giving the referral can send it and know right away in the response that the client and the person they referred have connected. At Core 7, it's easy to connect. We have copy and paste emails that make those introductions easy. So, you know, the scripting is easy. Email's the best way. Okay, next question. Mark, I'm not comfortable referring certain professionals. I feel that my clients will think it's weird. How can Core 7 help me with this? We hear this a lot, and we hear it because Core 7 has a referral methodology where execution is expected. So we get this question a lot. And guys, I got to tell you, it's all head trash. It's not going to happen. If the referral is introduced properly by following the system, your clients will love you for it because you're putting them in a better financial position. I mean, here's the deal, guys. Right now, there's two silos typically. There's the real estate silo and the financial silo. And in order for the client to receive the value of the whole team, the crossover needs to happen. So loan officers and real estate closing attorneys, I mean, we need to ask and make suggestions that they speak to the financial, estate, and the accountant to discuss tax ramifications, as well as the financial advisors, accountants, and estate planners need to discuss real estate. Honestly, as long as the process is followed, everything will go smoothly. We have never received pushback from our clients. We get a lot of no thank yous. You know, sometimes people don't want to do it, but it's never weird. Just follow the process. You'll be fine. Next question. It's much easier for certain professionals to give more referrals than others. Is it expected to be tit for tat? Great question. You guys are asking all the right things. The short answer is no. It's clear that tit for tat will not happen. However, if the methodology is followed, the referral numbers will be so much higher than the norm. For example, we've asked so many financial advisors how many referrals they've received from their mortgage originator. We've asked realtors how many referrals, they've received from financial advisors or accountants. And the answer is usually zero, not one. So here's the deal. Just executing the Core 7 system makes it possible to bring these numbers up and maximize the value of the group. So even though they aren't a 1-for-1 ratio, the numbers are still going to be so much better than the typical partnership because there's a system. There's a system, but there's also other intangibles. For example, the what's new and positive and who do I want to meet section. In this section, partners are encouraged to ask for referrals for clients and business partners they want to meet. So let me ask you, if you're a property and casualty insurance agent and your realtor and closing attorney introduce you to all the mortgage originators they know, would that be a good thing? That could actually be a lot better than just an individual referral, right? So because we believe in the abundance mentality, we're always looking for things like that. Like there's another thing. Core 7 shows us how to do things we call chef's tables, right? And so, for example, a realtor in one of our groups did one of these chef's tables at a local bar and invited their whole real estate team, the electrician, the inspector, the title professional, the roofer, the stager, the interior design expert, the plumber, and a lot more. These professionals are all self-employed business owners. These are great introductions for a financial advisor. So just from this one event, this advisor brought on 7 to 10 more clients, just from this one event at a bar. I mean, this could be done by Zoom or a WebEx meeting. I mean, there's so much opportunity because you see, the realtor isn't in a great position to refer the financial advisor during the typical real estate process because they don't see all the financial information for the client. But they can still have the ability to add a ton of value that may even be greater than an individual referral. These are the things that Core 7 encourages all the time. And this is what it means to have an abundant mentality. Think wide, help people become successful. Okay, next question. You guys are great. Keep firing away. Should I build my group with new or existing partners? Good question. We touched on this earlier in the webinar. I'd start with your existing partners because we can double the referral business just by implementing some of the systems and processes. Also, your existing partners are going to be 100% in favor of forming the group with you because you're already working together and supporting each other. Does that make sense? Now, don't get me wrong. It's good to meet new partners too. Here's what I think is best, and it really depends on who the group owner is and what profession they're in. For example, if a mortgage originator starts a group, a good way to start would be mortgage originator, then get a good realtor, and the closing agent. Get those on first, and then grab a financial advisor because chances are that the referral relationships are only going one way with the advisor. That's something I see all the time. Financial advisors can generate a ton of referrals, and sometimes they don't get much back. And sometimes it's accepted as normal. It doesn't have to be this way. Core 7, makes it a two-way street. And the system makes it really easy to show the financial advisor the value of the real estate team and the benefit of the system. And the other thing is the financial advisor, if they're good, they should have relationships with the other 3 professionals already in place. So they could be added to the group. And if they don't, you get to reach out and offer this great new opportunity to some professionals. I mean, imagine that. You got a group of 4 professionals looking for an accountant, an estate planning attorney, and a property and casualty insurance agent for the exclusive seat in their networking group. I think it would be pretty easy to find someone, don't you? I mean, good professionals are always looking to network with other good professionals. Just a good way to add partners for your team. Next question. What if I catch my clients off guard and they tell me to stay in my lane? We just addressed this earlier, but I'll do it again. Guys, it's head trash. Does not happen. One of the biggest reasons is because the referral scripting is not pushy. Remember earlier we talked about the referral generator, which is how is your relationship with your blank who specializes in blank? I mean, how is that going to be received as pushy? You're asking if they have a relationship with a professional, and if they don't, you're suggesting that it would make sense and be a smart move to speak with one. I mean, how can that be considered pushy? It won't be. Don't even let that go into your head. You see, a lot of Core 7 is based on listening to the clients and what they say, about stuff that's out of your profession. This can set up the perfect time to say something like, I don't know the answer to that, Mr. Client. That's actually a financial advisor question. By the way, how's your relationship with your financial advisor who specializes in that? I use the financial advisor because I'm a mortgage originator and those scripts roll off my tongue. But I always look for the opportunity to say, I don't know, because then it gives me the opportunity to say, but here's who does. How's your relationship with that person? Really easy to generate referrals. Next question. Can I have more than one Core 7 group? This is a very interesting question that I usually don't get into just because I don't want it to be confusing. But the short answer is yes. If you own a territory, you can have multiple groups. However, don't spread yourself too thin. It's better to master one group, learn the system before you expand to others. There are many branch managers who buy territories and they create multiple groups in different areas because they put different leaders there. They put their sales reps all over the territory so they could form multiple groups with the branch manager owning the territory and receiving the introductions. It's a really good unique value proposition. But as individuals, it's best to master one at a time. Question number 10. How long is a mastermind meeting? We answered this earlier, but I'll go a little deeper on it. On the agenda, we have 3 hours blocked out. However, if a meeting really goes 3 hours, that means everything's humming along with a ton of referrals being exchanged at a huge level. That would be the best 3 hours you ever spent. But, typically meetings can last, 1.5, maybe 2 hours. And here's how I look at it. Here's how you should look at it. You're supposed to have scheduled meetings with business partners as part of your business anyway. All sales managers are pushing their reps to do this. And with Core 7, you get to have productive meetings with all 6 professionals in one sitting where you're talking about business, you're talking about referrals. So, even if it is 3 hours to meet with 6 professionals, that's probably less time than it would take to have 6 meetings individually. Make sense? Okay, last question. How big is an exclusive territory for Core 7 and how much does it cost? Okay, great. This is the question we answered, but we'll do it again. We break it up by population of 100,000 and by zip code. So, for example, let's say there's over 100,000 people in one zip code. There's a chance that your territory could contain slightly higher than the $100,000 limit. It could also be slightly lower if the zip code or zip codes are not quite 100,000. 100,000 population is a guideline. So we try to keep it to just set zip codes where zip codes aren't overlapping and try to come as close to 100,000 as we possibly can. We have mapping software that allows us to do that. It's pretty easy. The cost is $600 per year for an exclusive territory, which is $50 a month. The one thing I'd like to mention here is the value you receive. I mean, what's the return you're getting now? Realtors and loan officers who are buying leads and paying $2,000 a month, these leads can be cold. It comes out to about $24,000 a year. What's the return you're getting on that money? And this also creates warm clients. You know, for most professionals, it only takes one closed sale to more than cover the cost. Guys, Course 7 is a no brainer. I've really enjoyed our time together. We look forward to speaking with you on the other side.